Hello, this is BohemianSim again, my second video that I'm working on. Make sure that you subscribe and like this video if you are into it. My EA ID is BohemianSim, so if you do like this build, I will have it up in the gallery. And then if you want to follow me on Instagram, it's BohemianSim83. So that would be awesome. If you want to support, go over there and follow me to see lots of other builds that I've done in the past. And then I'm actually working on a new one right now as well that I've posted a few sneak peek pictures up on Instagram. Kind of a fun one. Yeah, so this one, so it's kind of making it up as I went along. I really had no idea what I was going to do. I tended in the past to always build the walls and then do platforms. And I noticed in some of the videos that I was watching that, there was a way of just doing the platforms and then doing the walls. I was like, I want to try that. I want to see how that works. So basically, I just randomly placed platforms and just played with shapes. I had no idea where I was going with it at all. I just followed it, which was kind of fun. Kind of felt more artistic in that way, that I could just kind of go with the flow and, make things up as I went along. And I like the outcome. I think it turned out pretty well. But as you can see right now, it's just trying to figure out the shapes, and then after I get the shapes, kind of deciding, okay, well, that room's going to be this and that room's going to be that. And then once I kind of had that figured out, adding on to it. But yeah, so it was kind of fun. The idea behind this, once I got going, once I kind of got into it, I was like, okay, let's say, it's obviously like a more modern house that I definitely knew I was going for, because I like those very open builds. I like the lighter color schemes and stuff. I was like, okay, so let's say there's this nice house that was built, modern home, and then this new family decides to buy the house. So maybe this house wasn't really originally thought of for a family, because it's a little fancier. Oh my gosh, these roofs. I was having so much trouble with these roofs. I don't know why. Maybe some of you know why. You can let me know. But the way I build the house, it wouldn't really click into a room where there was an actual platform and roof that I could place the roofing on. So I had to do this weird trick thing. I figured out better ways to do it since then, but when I was doing this, I was like, oh my gosh, how do I get the roof on? That was a huge hassle. So that took a big chunk of time, but I was creative and I figured a way out to do it. As you can see, I tried a lot of different things. And yeah, now I know a little more. So in the future, I'll be able to do it a lot quicker, but so definitely experiment. But anyway, so backstory, back to that. I was, so family, new family, maybe the wife is still pregnant, hasn't actually had the baby yet. They needed a new home, bigger home, so they bought this one. And so as you can see, as I go along, the walls, even the outside shape is very, kind of modern, artsy kind of thing, very whites and light browns and beiges and things like that. But when they start moving their furniture in, their furniture's a little brighter colors, because maybe this isn't their, maybe it wouldn't have been maybe something they would have built for themselves, but it was a lot of space for what they needed, and then they just made it their own through their decor and things like that. So that's kind of the thought process as I went into it, and I started kind of going, oh yeah, this is kind of what I'm deciding to do with it. I didn't want to make it just a typical modern home. I actually had some ideas from a house that I used to walk dogs at. They had, as you'll see later, I made a little room for the pool. Like basically there's a pool, there's gonna be a pool out front, and then I made a little room that this family that I walk their dog for, they actually had a little room where after you'd be in the pool, you could actually go into this little room and there'd be towels and a couch, and it was kind of like a place to lounge when you didn't want to be outside, but it was open to the outside where you could still interact, and it wasn't it was more part of the outside than the inside, even though it did connect. I kind of wanted to make a room like that, so that's what I'm working on right there. As you can see, I jumped around a lot. I was like, oh, there's an idea. So I had lots of ideas there. And then, of course, because the bottom story is so laid out, I was like, okay, well, I definitely need a second story somewhere for all the bedrooms. But yeah, and then I knew I wanted a pool. Usually I put a pool in the back, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to put it in the front. Also just how the layout happened to go when I was kind of making it up. It definitely just seemed to fit best there. And then yeah, I wanted lots of platforms. I think that's a lot of fun to do stuff with that. And then I kind of just, even if I wasn't sure what I was going to end up doing with it, I tried to just leave whatever dips or raised platforms that I had there, and then as I decorated, I could figure out more and more what I wanted to do with it. So yeah, so it was fun. It was really fun. And then I used, let's see, that wall. I just wanted something more, for the pool area, like a tiled look. And I really liked that one. I think it's from Discover University, that stone. And I was like, okay, well, I don't want the whole house to be that. So I just kind of wanted that front area to be that. And I was going to find another. I first picked that brown. I picked that brown wood for the outside, but these walls, the textured, different colored woods, I really like that. I use it in a lot of my builds because I just like it so much. I don't know, it just appeals to me. It's a good way to have that modern look without it being just too flat. If I just used like white or beige, it would flush itself out in the lights, and it just wouldn't look as textured and as interesting. So I liked using the combination of the white wood and the little tiles and stuff at the same time. I like the combination. And then yeah, it was really just trying to figure out, okay, now I kind of have this structure. How am I going to fill in the rest of the yard, and how do I want to make it? Because obviously it's still a family home. I still wanted space for, like, oh, as their kid gets bigger, they do, add some outdoor toys and some, jungle gym and things like that. But I also want it to look like, yeah, it wasn't originally built for that, but there is a little extra space outside for that. And then sometimes I'm hesitant to put fences up around the whole lot because it closes it off visually. But sometimes I feel like, especially with the pool in the front and everything, I was just kind of like, that's just too exposed. I mean, would you really want your pool in the front yard and not have a fence? So I kind of went back and forth on that. What I wanted to do. That was kind of a decision. Oh yeah, there. See, I put the little fountain in there. Trying to figure out how I want to frame it. That's always a little hard sometimes to, like, okay, like I said, I want a good amount of yard actually available, but then I also want to make things like that actually look complete. Yes, the little outdoor area. I decided to keep that spot on the roof open as a little outdoor balcony. And then I put that hot tub in. That was cool. I like that idea. I was like, okay, this could be like their little, relax, not necessarily playing in the pool, but if they had some friends over, they could just lounge out there and then go in the hot tub sometimes and all that. So yeah, I liked working on this one, being that it was very free form. Sometimes that's nice, especially because lately I've been doing a lot of challenges on Instagram. People have been putting up different build challenges, and either giving parameters, which is really good because you have to be creative to stay inside of those rules. Um, but it's also fun not to have rules sometimes. So I kind of wanted to do that with this one and just go with it wherever creativity sent it. See, I'm working on that little room for the pool. It's like a pool room. Oh my gosh, there's the floor. That floor in the living room, it's my favorite floor. I use it way too much. But yeah, I think it's from Dogs and Cats, and I've just, ever since I got that pack, I just use it nonstop. It just looks so good. I have to keep myself from using it too much sometimes because it's just so pretty. It just lightens up the room. But like I said, it still has that texture that I like. It's not just a straight, everything's the same color. So anyway, I'd love to hear from you guys, what you think of this freeform idea, and then maybe some comments about what you guys have been up to, what kind of builds you guys like to do, anything like that. Just definitely like to hear from you guys, or maybe what you'd like me to build next. Like I said, currently I'm building this other build. This is very different. I actually came up with it when I was almost asleep. I tend to think about my Sims builds when I'm falling asleep. And yeah, when I was a teenager, it was, think about boys before I fell asleep. And now it's think about Sims builds. So yeah. But yeah, I come up with some ideas. I came up with this really different idea. I won't say too much about it because it's definitely kind of a surprise idea, seeing how it comes out, but definitely playing more with levels, and playing with the idea that in Sims you can build houses and lots that could never exist. And doesn't mean this one couldn't, but it would be pretty difficult to have everything line up correctly for the one that I'm working on right now. But yeah, it'll be fun. So check out those pictures on Instagram. I got a couple sneak peek pictures up. And let me know what you think I'm building. And then yeah, I've definitely been challenging myself lately at doing bigger builds. Like before I really started, doing these videos and posting to Instagram as much, I usually did small houses. A lot of it was because of gameplay. Like I was playing with just one sim. I wanted to start them off in something small and then build onto it. But usually the play would pretty much stop at that point because I just got into the building and I'm like, okay, now I want to do this. I mean, you don't know how many times I've said, I'm going to play for real, no cheats, no mother load. And then I just get so bored and I just want to build. And of course I go mother load and, the cheat mother load to get some money, and then it's all over. I just build whatever I want at that point. And I'm like, okay, well, that sim didn't have to really work very hard for that. But yeah. So yeah, baby's napping again this time. Seems to be the best time to do these voiceovers. I thought about doing it at nighttime when my husband and baby are asleep, but that doesn't seem to happen because by then I'm just too tired. She hasn't been going to bed as quickly as I'd like at night, so this time is easier. Nap time's easier. I'm more awake. Have my little snack after she goes to sleep, and then I get to do this and talk about Sims and stuff. Oh, I really liked this bathroom. It's a little downstairs, like guest bathroom. So when you have people over, they just need to, use the toilet and the sink. It's right there, but I really liked the tiles and the decor that I chose. I would like a bathroom like that. Actually, the upstairs bathroom I ended up really liking too. Yeah. It's funny seeing that colorful patchwork carpet on the outside. Makes me think maybe I should try build sometime where everything's just not where it normally would be. Like use some crazy patterns and just, color everywhere, and I don't know. Maybe I could do that with my next as I go build, which is kind of what I think of this one as. It's just like come up with it as I go. But yeah, I did end up really liking this bathroom. The fact that it was a kind of odd shape made me have to think a little bit about where I wanted to place things, but that little nook just fit perfect for the bathtub. So that kind of actually made it easier. I'm usually pretty bad at figuring out where things should go in the bathroom and actually look nice. I think in the end I usually come up with something, but it usually takes me a while. But this one actually flowed pretty well. I think because of the weird shape that the room was. Because I always like to kind of separate things. I don't just want the tub and the shower. I want like, oh, this is where you would relax. There's some candles or something like that. And then, oh, here's the shower, which is very straightforward. And then I like putting the half wall by the potty because, yes, potty, I have a daughter, by the potty because, who wants to relax in the tub and look at the potty. So yeah, and then I used again that same wallpaper that I used on the outside of the house. I used it inside the house, but it's more the off-white color, and then in the bathroom is that dark brown. So like I said, I really like it. And I also really like putting stonework in the bathrooms. And then hardly any lighting. I really like very light lighting in the bathrooms, just like a couple candles, and then maybe like 1 or 2 wall lights. Oh my gosh, the roof. They have a lot of cool roofing, but when you actually put it on the house, it looks so bad. Like, it's just, you think it's going to look one way, and then you go and you put it on the house, and you're like, oh my gosh, no. That's not what I wanted. Like, either it's too white, like I wanted something light colored, something white to go with the rest of the house, but you do it and it looks like it's like reflecting in your eyes, like super bright. So it always takes me a while to figure out what roof I want to do just because of that. Oh, and there's the little baby's room. You'll notice that I used a lot of the werewolf pack. Yes, choosing a bed for the parents. I used a lot of the werewolf pack for the baby's room. And I don't know, I kind of felt to me like maybe there's a little hint there that maybe there's some werewolf connections going on in the family, whether it's a foreshadowing of the baby's future or maybe one of the parents actually is a werewolf. But yeah, I really like playing with that decor for the baby's room. I guess because it was new too. It's like, oh, some new stuff. I really want to use it. And then that kind of backstory kind of fell into place as I was like, oh, that would be cool. I kind of felt there was something going on with that. And then, like I said, here the house is very, not bland, but very subdued colors. So I was like, okay, well, they can color up their living room using their decor. So the oranges and the yellows for the couches. I really like using the couches and the chairs that have pillows. It just makes it look more lived in, I think, and more like, what something would really like. So I'm glad they've been adding more of that kind of furniture with pillows and stuff, because for a while they didn't have any of that, the accents and stuff, and just, yeah, I like chairs with pillows. And then, oh yeah, right here I decided to do, I kind of wanted, because the windows were so big and bright, that the seating on that side where all the windows are on, I want it to be more of a, yeah, let's sit and talk, have a drink, hang out, not really distracted with where the TV would be. And then I wanted, like, for movie night, it to be kind of more of a cozy, let's cuddle up and watch a movie type of thing, and actually have both of those elements within the living room. So I thought it came together pretty good. I ended up changing the color of the couch down the line because I was like, why am I messing with the color scheme and adding blue in there? And then here, this dining table, the round glass one, I use it too much as well. It's like my favorite. Too bad it's not a little bigger, because sometimes it looks a little crowded. Usually I'll use it with just 2 chairs, but I felt like, okay, as a family, they should have a little bit more room, even though the baby's still, a baby or maybe not even born. Yeah, as you saw in my other videos, I tend to really think through the storylines. It helps me build. And like I said, even though this one started off as I have no idea what I'm doing, it kind of built the story as I went along and as I figured it out. And then here I have that little dip that was on the porch, so I wanted to do something specific with that. So I decided to put the furniture around that because, well, you'll see what I do with it. And I wanted lots of greenery around too, you know, and our little barbecue area. Because I didn't really want to have it up by the hot tub and by all those things. And yes, I do notice that the hot tub is hanging over the edge. I will fix that. I can't remember why that happened. Oh, I think it was when I was moving the platform around from the other thing. When I was trying to do I think it was when I was trying to do the barbecue area, it kind of moved it around. But yeah, I wanted that area, and then there's a little place where if people want to hang out with whoever's barbecuing, they can, you know, be down there and hang out with them, or, you know, sit there with a drink or something. And then up on the porch is more of a hangout. See the little fire pit. I was really excited about that. I hope that it works okay. I don't know why it shouldn't. I actually did not test that, so let me know. This should be a fully functional house. I don't see any issues, but I don't think I hadn't tested the actual fire pit yet to see if the interactions work. I'm pretty sure you can light it, but I'm not sure if you can do the other things that come with it, like the telling stories and stuff. But I don't see why not. It should be fine. But if it's not, let me know, and maybe I'll go in there and fix it. Yeah, and you can tell that I really ended up liking that blue for the outdoor furniture. Like I said, I wanted the furniture to be bright because the whole rest of the house was kind of whites and off-whites and tans and stuff. So the furniture definitely gave it a little pop. I thought that looked cool. And then trying to figure out what I was going to do with this little porch area. I was like, I already have the lawn furniture on the other two places, but I gotta do something with that. Yes, and see, when I'm not sure what to do with something, I step away, work on something else, and then come back to it. And obviously this is a fancy house, pretty big. The look of the house is very important to whoever made it. So I wanted to make the pool not just look like a regular pool either, so I liked putting the stonework at the bottom and on the walls. But yeah, I always like to go to the nighttime option, do the nighttime lighting, so I can make sure everything's lit the way I want it. And this thing, I wanted to do it, but it didn't quite reach, and then it just didn't look right like that. I didn't like it was going into the fence, so I just let that one go. Did more of the floor lighting. Yeah. Hey, I'm almost halfway through this video. That's pretty cool. I wasn't sure if I was gonna have to do it in bits, but I just might be able to do the whole thing in one go. Yeah, it seemed kind of dark down there by the barbecue area, so I was trying to figure out a way to do it. Just can't remember exactly what I ended up with. I did this one quite a while ago. I'm trying to remember my thought process for everything. But yes, jumping back to the fountain, trying to figure out how to fit everything. Luckily, that little strip of platform I really had no purpose for yet, so it made it easy to just kind of play with it and move it how I wanted, because it didn't really matter. There really wasn't a purpose to it yet. So yeah, change that up a little bit. What should I have for lunch? I don't know. I had cheese and crackers for a snack. That was really good. But then I had my snack, and I'm like, okay, now what's for lunch? I do like to eat. Food is good. Yes, trying to figure out. See, I ended up deciding, okay, I'm going to put a fence around the place, at least the backyard, so it kind of sections things off. Um, yes, the little steps. I always thought those looked good. Sometimes I really wish that you could put the fences without it going on the platform. Like, I would have loved if I could have put that fence like right along those platform steps instead of them actually following the height change. But then I came up with this idea, so that I was good with. I love those little bamboos. I was like, I need something because you don't want people walking up there. Like I said, I tend to think too much practically when I do a build. Like, okay, obviously your sim's not going to fall off of that thing, but I have to think of it that way when I'm building. I'm like, okay, that just doesn't, someone could totally fall off it. You need some kind of railing, but I didn't want to do normal railing. So what was I doing there? I'm trying to even remember what I was doing. Oh, that's right. I was trying to play with the idea of like a laundry room basement, but it's so strange because they don't let you put stairs unless it's reaching to a room, which I thought was really weird because it's like, well, why can't you have stairs going, up to the outside? And it just wasn't letting me. I tried a bunch of different things, trying to, change the size of the rooms or, things like that. I think I tried building a room up top at one point, or maybe that was in another build. Okay, so that worked, but then it's totally in the way of the area. So I don't know why it would only go out that far. Maybe some of you know why it wouldn't let me put the stairs closer to the house. But yeah, in the end, I ended up just abandoning the whole idea and saying, okay, well, they just don't have a laundry room. And I thought about putting a little garden area, like fencing it off, but I just felt like it was too much fencing. I don't think I ended up doing that. Yeah, plus it messed with the little fountain and everything. Obviously, it would have been something that the new owners would have put in later, so it would have mixed matched. But oh my gosh, and then that door, sometimes that door, I don't know why, it just, you'll put it in and then I'll be working on things and I'll look and that still looks like a wall is behind the door. Like, it doesn't just keep it open. So I had to play with that a little bit. I still don't know why it does that. It's probably just a glitch. But this room was fun to decorate because I wanted it to have more of that tropical. So you used a lot of the Solani decor for this room. Since it was connected to the pool, I wanted to give it more of that tropical vibe. And that was actually kind of how that room was at the house I used to walk their dogs. Yeah, they had a really nice house. So I'd always walk in and take in their decor and everything, and definitely influences things. I get those little magazines in the mail, those free magazines where they're like, advertisements for, people that work on houses and stuff. And I just tear out clippings of any house idea that looks cool. I have a little folder for all that stuff. And then, of course, on Instagram, I follow all these home design pages as well for ideas. Because I definitely want to start doing more, trying to copy real things sometimes. So just to, flex those muscles a little bit and get some different ideas than just here's a room. It's like, okay, well, how do we make it really, really look real? Oh my goodness, sorry, I'm yawning. Oh yeah, and then I did decide that I did want to give it house access as well. Originally, I was just going to have it, you can only get to that room from the outside, but I'm pretty sure I ended up putting a door where you could get to it from the inside too. But I didn't want it too exposed. That's why I ended up not using a door with windows or any of those slatted doors. just because I still wanted it to be separate, with some privacy, so that you could be out there playing the pool, and if anyone's in the house, they wouldn't necessarily be staring at you. And yes, I did end up deciding to put a fence around the whole thing, because I'm like, okay, just with the pool, it just didn't look right having that be the front yard. Like, here's my pool, come on in. So it's like, I better put like an actual fence and a gate. So I ended up bringing it all the way around, and then you can really see where I designate the yard space, and where it kind of breaks things off from the front yard to the little side area to the backyard. And then the placing of the plants. I enjoy it and I hate it at the same time. I enjoy it because it makes it pop. It makes the whole place come to life. It makes it really look way better. But it also, deciding what I'm going to put where, especially in a lot that big. It's like, that's why sometimes it's just easier to make smaller homes, because you don't have as much options, which actually makes it easier, because you don't have to go through a huge list of items. It's like, okay, well, I can only fit one tree. That only makes sense to have one or two trees. When you have a big lot and a big yard, like, obviously they're going to have some vegetation, and then I need to place all the trees so that when you're playing and when you're like when I'm building, I can still see things and it still looks good from that point of view as well. Like, if I want to take pictures after I build, I don't want a big tree in the way. I did a fairy house, which is in the gallery. You can see pictures of it on Instagram as well. But I did this fairy house. I just wanted to see how tall you could make a Sims house, which is, I guess, 5 stories, I think, and not counting basements. And so I made this like towering fairy house, and it was fun and everything. Actually doesn't have walls, so that was interesting, trying to still cover it and make it look like it's a lived-in place. But that was hard because it's all plants. I mean, I had to, there's a whole swimmable lake underneath the house, or around the outside of the house. And I had to surround the whole thing with plants. And then I had to make sure, every floor in the house had plants. Some of them were actually rooted. Some of them were in pots. Not just, as good as it ended up looking, as happy as I was with it in the end, it takes a long time to figure all that out. And then to go through all the little objects for, making the place look lived in and stuff. It's just lots of scrolling, lots of trying different things. And then, you can tell that also, even though this is a nice house, you can tell that the people that bought it are a little more, they're fun, like I said, with the bright color furniture, all that. But then also, even though they don't even have kids yet, or their kids super small and can't really swing on a swing, they have a swing set and they have a ping pong table. You could picture that maybe they, met in college, and then they always used to play ping pong together at Discover University, and then they got married after school and got pregnant and bought this house after their career started off, and they could afford a bigger house and start a family. So they still want to be able to play ping pong together. And then this one, I really wanted to plant in that corner. And I was like, I love the bamboo. And they had that little one. And I was like, this is great, but I need more than one. I don't want just one pot of those 3 sticks of bamboo. So I clumped it with the plan to put a bigger pot over it, which is what's so great about the Move Objects cheat, because it allows you to kind of build those ideas. So I did that later. I added a bigger pot, as you'll see, once I got to it, once I found one I liked. And there's a telescope. Wanted to add that. Figured that'd be a nice little thing to have up on that little porch area, or balcony, I guess. But just adding all those little decors around the place is fun. Stressful, like I said, when it's a big place. It's like, okay, I like that plant, where the heck do I put it? But I thought it came together all right. I was happy. by the end of it. And obviously sometimes I'm scrolling through and I find something that I want to use, but I have no idea where I want to use it yet. So I just kind of grab it and stick it somewhere. Yeah, I use that plant a lot too. I really like that plant. I'm trying to remember what it's from. I think it's from Snowy Escape. I can't remember. That plant there, the one I put in that little step there, I know that one's from the Star Wars pack. I've done some builds, some Star Wars builds too. I know a lot of complaints with that pack are the fact that you can't build there and you can't actually live there in the, in that world. And so I decided slowly I have a save file where I'm slowly taking out all the houses and buildings from the Oasis Springs, and I'm building Star Wars homes. So far I have a scoundrel house that's actually the top part is like a little entryway where all her stuff she scavenged sits, like boxes and crates and everything. And then there's a kitchen that I used a lot of the cantina stuff from, but then you go downstairs and it's like an open basement that has more of the living space, living room, workout area, little corner bedroom, open shower. It came out pretty cool, so you guys can check that out. It's also on Instagram and in the gallery. And then I did a first order home too, for basically, if you decide to go down that route when you're playing the game, you could have, more of a rich, fancy looking house, a bigger house that fits with the first order idea. Maybe a general or something lives there. Yeah, and that was fun with the windows too. I liked that. I had to make sure I got the short ones though, because there's a platform. If I put them too low, then I would see underneath the little porch. It wouldn't look right. So luckily they have different sizes for that. But yeah, so slowly turning Oasis Springs. I did a little marketplace too, which is I really was happy with. So I have all that on the gallery and everything. If you want to check it out, if you want to make playing Star Wars a little more interesting. I mean, obviously, it still sucks that you can't carry over your simoleons and credits back and forth. But you can still kind of pretend like maybe it's another planet or something like that. I still want to build a cantina over there too. I need to take out the bar that's there and put that in. But down the road, lots of plans. Okay. Yeah, see, I like to put little candles near the tub. I like having candles when I take a bath, so I figure, why wouldn't somebody else? And then, yeah, scrolling through, see, I saw that little outdoor Japanese lamp. I just grabbed it and threw it outside because I saw it. Sometimes I'll see something I like, I have to just grab it in the moment, otherwise I will forget, and then I won't think of it again. I'm like, oh yeah, I was going to put that there. Totally forgot. Yeah, and then I was like, I think with this one I moved some of the windows because I was like, well, yeah, I wanted the wood stove was a big part of it. I was like, I really wanted to add that in. And then again, me being the practical, well, how would this really work person, I really wish sometimes that they had matching floors and walls, because for this, you're not going to have just a wood stove going into a wood wall or, on carpet. You're going to have it on stone. I mean, the house I grew up in had a wood stove. There was marble under it, and it went up through the ceiling to get out. So I felt like you need that. I always like to put the stonework around it if I can, because it just makes it look more real. It makes it look more practical. But it's always hard because then, as you saw, then I have 3 different textures of stone, because the platform is one, the wall is one, and the floor is a different one. So they're all, so I end up with 3 different ones. It doesn't look too bad, but it would be nice if they actually matched those things, especially with the stonework. Obviously, you're not really going to put certain things. So if they had the stonework and the tiles that you could have on the floor and on the walls. I think that would be cool. And then dressing up the parent room. Again, as I went through decorating their room, if I saw something for the baby room, I would grab it and just stick it in there to be decorated with more later. I really like those paintings too. I wish they had a little more art like that. So I played with that a little bit. Can't remember exactly what I ended up doing. Oh, and I love that painting, the little pinup. It's so random, but I know some people don't like it, but I really like it. So I had to place it in the bathroom. I'm like, there's a green one. I'll put it in the green bathroom, even though it doesn't really match the rest of it. I just think it's a cool little fun picture to have on the wall. Yeah, more big windows. Love those big windows. I told my husband, I was like, someday when we can get, our dream house or whatever, I want to decorate it. I was like, I've been doing this enough virtually. I want to actually do it when we get our house. Because, you start kind of seeing what you like through this. And then, you can't always do it in real life, but hopefully someday I'll be able to do it in real life. See, there I put the pot. I finally came around to the big pots that they have and the decorations, and made sure I grabbed it. So still trying to figure out how to fill that little corner there. Decorating here and there. It's all the little pieces that take forever. Oh, my shag rug. That shag rug I have to use everywhere. Like every build I have both of those rugs. The one in the baby room that looks like the little sheepskin rug, and the one in the living room, those shag carpets. I just love those. I think I like to build in those light colors sometimes because I know I could never actually have things that color. We have dogs, we have a baby, we have me that's, my feet are always dirty. So there's no way that I could ever own a white rug or anything. But it looks so pretty, so I live through Sims to have white things. I could have that bedroom though. The parent bedroom. I definitely could have that bedroom. I also use those round mirrors from, I think it's from the spa pack with a light around it. I use that in everything too. I do love those floors for kitchens too. Even though they're supposed to be wood, they make me think more of tile, the one in the kitchen. And I love those soaps. And the Daruma dolls. Love those things. Wow, I'm actually almost done here. Coming to an end. That's crazy. I always think it's going to feel like it's going to take a really long time. Like, am I going to have enough to talk about while I'm doing this? And, oh my gosh, it's over 15 minutes. Can I talk that long? But I guess considering that, I'm following a build in a faster pace, there's always things to talk about. But this build was really fun. Just being able to kind of throw things together. I was really happy with the baby room too. It came together nicely. And there's always that last fine tuning. Go around, make sure everything's where you want it to be. And then I wanted to, I don't know why I saved the baby room for last. I guess I just wasn't sure what I wanted to do with it until I kind of grabbed a bunch of stuff. That dollhouse would have fit perfectly, but it was just too big. And that's nice because the bedroom is very gender neutral. It's a good thing about green. So, you know, if you play and you decide to have a family in the house and you don't know what it's going to be yet, it still kind of fits. Of course, you can always just go into build mode and change everything's color if you want to also. So there is that. But there's me thinking like it's real life again. So yeah, it would be nice if they had like a little functional changing table. You know, I mean, when I had my baby, I did not leave my baby in a crib other than to feed and change it. Like, she was attached to me all the time. She very rarely was just hanging out by herself in her crib. Ooh, okay, we're moving along. All right. I don't know what that was. Spazzed out there. Didn't know where I was going. I know sometimes I put down the mouse and it just drifts, you know. But yeah, see, even the big stuffed dog in there, I kind of picked the more wolfy kind of look to it. And then I have a lot of the wolf toys and the wolf crib and the sheep. And of course that lovely moon shelf that I honestly think is too big. I mean, I have stones and stuff and I could picture wanting a shelf like that, but not that big. And sadly, because it's a mirror, you can't shrink it, but I think it worked. It worked in the end. It looked all right. And then see, even that little potted plant is of a dog. And I got the little werewolf gnome. So, like I said, either foreshadowing or a direct link to maybe his potential to be, the baby's potential to be a werewolf. Who knows? But yeah, again, checking nighttime lighting, seeing what it looked like in there. I wanted soft lighting. I didn't want it to be too bright in there, because I think about, like, you know, that's where you're going to put the baby down. That's where you're going to read to it. It's not really where the baby plays yet. We don't need a ton of light, especially at night. I mean, and I used those holiday lights. It actually ended up looking all right. It wasn't too much holiday vibe to it. But yeah, just checking all the little last minute details here, I think. I think I pretty much had everything ready. Yeah, I had my little stash of things that I thought I might do with it. Oh yeah, I did add this little desk in here because I realized there was no office or anything in the whole place. So I decided to put it in the kitchen under those stairs, which I thought ended up actually looking really good. I was trying to think of what to put on the desk, so I just kind of scrolled through the office pre-made rooms to see if there was any clutter I could add from those, but they really don't have a whole lot. So I ended up just, I was trying to be lazy and do it that way instead of scrolling through all of the decorating items, but I didn't want it too cluttered anyway, so it ended up working out okay. I love those little aprons they added. It's like, I want some of those. I like to bake. I always forget to wear an apron, and I get flour and stuff everywhere. I'm a messy baker. I think my daughter's actually cleaner than I am when it comes to that. She likes to help me bake sometimes. It's pretty cute. Looks like we're winding down. Only about like 3 minutes left of this video, so it's just the last little bits that I'm doing here. I love that music thing. It just doesn't sit on very much. Like, you can't really put it on many shelves, which is kind of annoying to me. Like, why couldn't you put it on a bookshelf? It fits perfectly. But But anyway, I guess I should wind down here. I'm just kind of putting the last touches here. Thank you for watching. And it was a long one. Still working on where I can edit things to, you know, create a good length of a video. Because obviously with a video this long, I mean, before speeding it up, I think it was like 7 hours long, which of course takes a long time to build these things, but I'm getting more efficient as I go. So if you did watch the whole thing, thank you. Please be sure to subscribe if you want to see more, like if you liked it, and follow me on Instagram, BohemianSim 83. And then my EA account is BohemianSim. So it'd be awesome if you want to follow me on any of those. I would love it. Thank you for watching. This is actually a really fun build, and I was really happy with the outcome. Let me know your thoughts and feelings about it. And yeah, I'll hopefully have the next one up soon. I have a much shorter video for the next one. It's a much smaller build, but it was pretty fun too. It's a converted garage thing that I did, so it was kind of had the werewolf pack in mind. I just got that pack, so I was playing with that a little bit. But yeah, so hopefully you'll watch that one too and you'll enjoy it. And yeah, thank you so much for watching again. Please leave comments. I'm just trying to get better at this, so if there's any constructive criticism, I'm all for that. Yeah, so hopefully every video gets better. All right, thank you so much.